All right, listeners, ready for a deep dive into Lago Mexican cuisine? We sat down for an interview with the owners, so get ready because you're in for a real treat today.
Sounds delicious already.
Yeah, so they're located in Mandeville, Louisiana, right on Lake Pontchartrain, and we want to uncover what makes this place, special.
More than just good food, good people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are those hidden gems? What makes this place stand out? Are you ready?
I am. I'm ready to get my taste buds tingling.
Well, the story starts with the owners, Jose and Ana Rangel. They immigrated from Michoacan, Mexico, which, if you didn't know, is a region known for fishing and seafood.
Makes sense with the lake location.
I know, right? You can kind of see how that played into, choosing their spot. Now, they didn't just jump right into opening a restaurant. They actually spent several years working in restaurants in Tennessee first.
Oh, interesting. So they really learned the ropes before striking out on their own.
Yeah, it's like they went through restaurant boot camp.
I like that analogy.
But let's talk about the food, because Lago has this pretty interesting approach. They blend Tex-Mex and authentic Mexican cuisine.
So they're appealing to a broader audience then.
Right, exactly. They're trying to capture those who love Tex-Mex flavors, but also offer something for those seeking a more traditional experience. So that makes me wonder, can they actually strike a balance between the two without compromising authenticity?
It's a tough challenge for sure, but we'll see what we uncover.
Yeah, and speaking of balance, their signature dish is called the Lago Special Fajita.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, it's a mix of ribeye, jumbo shrimp, chicken, and spicy chorizos all in one fajita.
Wow, they really aren't holding back, are they?
No, it's like they said, we're going to put all the proteins on one sizzling platter.
That's one way to make a statement.
I'm definitely intrigued, but to be honest, I'm more drawn to places that focus on fresh ingredients, so I was excited to see that they make their guacamole daily with real avocados, no artificial pastes or anything like that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a good sign.
Right. And they even have a TikTok showing how they make it, so, they're proud of it.
I love when restaurants are transparent about their process.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
But, we love finding those hidden gems, and apparently there's this secret Mexican pizza.
Ooh, secret menu item. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's not listed on their regular menu, but it's a popular choice, especially for kids.
Ah, so it started as a way to appease these kids who wanted to leave and get pizza. So they made it just for them, and it's been a hit ever since.
Nice. And speaking of off-menu items, they've also got ceviche, avocado salad, and chilaquiles, but you have to know to ask for them.
It's like a little secret handshake with the regulars.
I love that. And Anna actually mentioned in one of the interviews that she makes a real effort to connect with customers, make Lago feel family-friendly and affordable.
That's so important, especially for a local spot.
Absolutely. And get this, even the bar area maintains that family-friendly vibe.
Interesting. So they're not trying to segment their audience too much. They want everyone to feel welcome.
I think that's right. And it seems like that community focus extends beyond the restaurant, too.
How so?
Well, they're actively involved in local fundraising efforts. They support churches, schools, and are big sponsors of the Mandeville Police Department's Night Against Crime event.
Wow. So they're really woven into the fabric of the community.
Yeah, it seems like they really care about giving back, but they're not immune to the challenges that restaurants are facing these days.
I was just thinking about that. What did they say about that?
Anna brought up the impact of remote work on their lunchtime business.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge one these days.
A lot of places are struggling to get that lunchtime crowd back.
It's definitely a new landscape they have to navigate.
But even with those hurdles, Anna seems to find a lot of satisfaction in what she does. She talked about the joy of seeing people enjoy their food and celebrate special occasions at Lago.
I love that it sounds like she's really found her calling.
And it goes even deeper than that. She talked about how they even provide comfort food for families after funerals.
Wow, that's really going above and beyond.
It shows you the impact a restaurant can have on people's lives. It's not just about the food, it's about the connection.
That's beautifully said.
But their journey to opening Lago wasn't without its bumps in the road.
What were some of the challenges they faced?
Well, one of the biggest headaches was obtaining licenses and permits.
Ugh, I bet that was a nightmare.
Yeah, apparently it was a long and frustrating process.
It's easy to romanticize the idea of opening a restaurant, but there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy involved.
So true. But in the end, they persevered. And when asked about the most valuable lesson she's learned, Anna's answer was simple patience and perseverance.
That's sage advice for anyone, really.
Yeah, it's about having the grit to stick it out through the tough times.
And it sounds like they're smart about adapting to the changing industry, too.
Definitely. For example, they have a punch card system for lunch. Buy 7 lunches, get 1 free.
Oh, smart. That's a good way to encourage repeat business, especially with the whole remote work situation.
And they're not afraid to experiment. They have limited time offers, and they're always open to trying new dishes based on customer requests.
It sounds like they really value customer feedback.
Absolutely. They also have happy hour specials, but they run them Sunday through Thursday.
Interesting. So they're trying to boost business during those slower days.
Right, exactly. And the fact that they maintain that family-friendly atmosphere even during happy hour speaks volumes about their overall brand.
It's a delicate balance, but they seem to be pulling it off.
Now, I don't want to give away all the secrets just yet, but I have to mention that Mexican pizza again.
Oh, yeah, the off-menu legend.
It's just fascinating to me how something that probably started as a simple act of service, a server trying to accommodate some picky kids, turned into this cult classic.
It's a reminder that sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places.
It really is, and it shows you the power of spontaneity and just being responsive to your customer.
Absolutely. And speaking of responsiveness, I want to go back to something Anna said about their service philosophy. She emphasized consistency, affordability, friendliness, and a genuine desire to make sure that no one leaves Lago disappointed.
It sounds like they're really going for that wow factor.
More than that, it's about creating a positive experience for every single customer. It's about making them feel valued.
And that genuine care really comes through in everything we've learned about Lago so far.
It's about building relationships, not just transactions.
Absolutely. So I think it's time to turn it over to our listeners now.
What do you think?
What stood out to you so far? What's piqued your interest? There's so much more to uncover about Lago's unique approach, and we'll delve deeper into that in part 2 of our deep dive, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to our Lago Deep Dive. We're going to keep uncovering what makes this restaurant tick.
We've talked about their story, their food, the atmosphere, but one thing that really stuck with me was Anna's honesty about the challenges they face.
Yeah, she didn't sugarcoat anything, like when she talked about the impact of remote work on their lunchtime business.
Yeah.
That shows a real understanding of how the industry is changing.
It's not all, sunshine and fajitas, right?
Definitely not. But what impressed me was that even with those challenges, her passion for serving her community really shines through.
It does, and it's not just about celebrating those happy occasions either. She talked about finding just as much fulfillment in providing comfort during difficult times, even after funeral.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It really highlights the deeper role that food can play in our lives.
It's about more than just filling bellies, right? It's about nourishing the soul.
I love that. And that personal touch, that connection with customers, it seems to be a big part of Lago's success.
It really does. It's like they're transforming a transaction into an experience.
Exactly. And, Anna, taking the time to learn names and stories, that creates a real sense of belonging.
It goes beyond just good food and service. It's about building community.
It is. And speaking of things that build community, we have to talk about those off-menu items.
Oh, yes. The Mexican pizza, the ceviche, the avocado salad. It's like a secret society for the regulars.
It adds a layer of intrigue, and it shows their flexibility, their willingness to cater to individual preferences.
They're not afraid to go off script to make someone's day.
And that willingness to evolve, that's essential in this industry. So speaking of evolution, let's dive into their marketing and promotions for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
So that punch card system for lunch, buy 7, get 1 free. It's a classic, but it's effective.
And their happy hour specials running Sunday through Thursday. That's a smart move, too.
It's all about attracting a wider audience during those off-peak hours.
Yeah.
And it's not just discounts. They create a whole festive atmosphere, with special drinks and promotions for holidays, like Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day.
They're capitalizing on those cultural moments, making them more than just another day at the restaurant.
Exactly. It's about creating buzz and a sense of occasion, but they haven't forgotten about the smaller gestures either, like offering gift card promotions during the holidays.
That's a thoughtful way to encourage gift giving and introduce new people to Lago.
It's clear they're thinking about every touch point, every opportunity to connect with their customers and create a lasting impression.
They're covering all their bases.
So taking a step back and looking at their overall strategy, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's impressive how they've woven together so many different elements, the unique blend of authentic and Tex-Mex cuisine, the welcoming atmosphere, their deep involvement in the community.
The powerful combination. They found that sweet spot where culinary expertise meets genuine hospitality and community engagement.
It's a reminder that success isn't just about profit margins. It's about building something meaningful that resonates with people.
Absolutely. Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to pose a question to our listener.
Okay, I like it.
What aspects of Lago's approach do you find most inspiring or relevant to your own life and work?
That's a great question. It's always fascinating to see how these deep dives can spark new ideas and perspectives. And be sure to join us for the final part of our Lago deep dive, where we'll bring it all together and leave you with some final food for thought. We'll see you soon. All right, welcome back to the final part of our Lago Mexican cuisine deep dive. It feels like we've been on quite a culinary journey.
We've tasted their food, explored their atmosphere, and uncovered their secrets. So now it's time to answer the big question. What can we learn from Lago's story?
Yeah, what are those key takeaways that we can maybe apply to our own lives or, maybe even inspire us to, try something new?
Well, one of the biggest things that struck me is that Lago is more than just a restaurant. It's a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and a deep-seated passion for serving others.
Jose and Anna's journey is truly inspiring. They integrated to a new country and built their dream from scratch.
And they did it their own way.
Yeah.
Blending those authentic Mexican flavors with those familiar Tex-Mex touches to create something truly unique.
It's a good reminder that success isn't about copying formulas. It's about bringing your own vision to life.
Absolutely. And they haven't wavered from their core values, quality ingredients, genuine hospitality, and a strong sense of community.
It's refreshing to see a business that's so committed to those values. It's not just about profits. It's about creating something meaningful that has a positive impact.
It's about making a difference. And I think what's really impressive is their adaptability. They're not shying away from the challenges facing the industry.
Like that punch card system for lunch or those creative happy hour specials.
Yeah, and their willingness to experiment with new dishes. They're listening to their customers and they're not afraid to evolve.
They're definitely on the ball. And let's not forget the power of those personal touches.
Oh, absolutely. Anna, making that effort to connect with customers, learn their names, create that warm and inviting atmosphere, it makes all the difference.
It's those little things that turn a meal into an experience.
And in a world that's becoming increasingly digital and impersonal, people crave those authentic human interactions.
Lago understands that, and they've woven it into the very fabric of their business.
They've created a real sense of community, and that's something we can all learn from.
It's a valuable lesson for sure. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Lago Mexican cuisine, I want to leave you with a final thought.
I like it. What is it?
What role does food play in your life, and how can you use it to create those meaningful connections and experiences?
Maybe it's about supporting local businesses that align with your values, or experimenting in the kitchen and sharing your creations with loved ones.
Or maybe it's just being more mindful of the food you choose and the impact it has on your well-being and the world around you.
Food is more than just sustenance. It's a powerful tool for bringing people together, sparking joy, nourishing the soul.
So until our next deep dive, remember, stay hungry, my friends.